Okay, am I streaming actually? I think I clicked stream before and it didn't work, so see how it goes. I may have accidentally clicked the stop streaming button, I'm not sure. That's a goof on my part. Let me start my stream timer here for a minute though. Okay, we're good there. Okay, what I must have just explained to no one is what I'm trying to work on today. I've got, oh geez, I have a bare bones reagent app set up here, ASDF app. It's not a real name, it's just a placeholder obviously. And what I want to do is mess around with this. The idea I have today is to see if I can make a kind of utility that lets me draw polygons and puts out the vector list of points that comprise that polygon. That's useful to me when I'm creating programmatic CAD stuff, because a lot of CAD, even if it's 3D, is extrusions and revolutions of 2D shapes. So if I can bash out a simple 2D thing here and copy its sketch properties back into whatever program I'm running, then that can be theoretically useful. Additionally, it's just probably a cool little fun way to learn how to actually build things out a little bit nicer, not just doing one-way things, but having actual interactivity. So that'll be what I mess around with today. So that's what I got going on. I started a little earlier because I have to end a little bit earlier as well. So we'll just see how things go. Take it one little step at a time. So I also don't know about the optimal setup approach for this stuff, because so what I have right now is a fig wheel setup, so it looks for when I make file changes, but I don't have a REPL running right now. Well, I mean, technically the REPL is running here. I think, let's see here. Yes, it is technically a REPL running, right? I could, yeah. So I'm just pointing out that instead of having the REPL running within Emacs, I right now I'm just running it in my terminal there. Hey, how's it going, Amerison Borer? I can never quite get your name right, sorry about that. How's it going? Alright, but I have a REPL running in here. Normally I have it running in here, but that'll be just fine for now, I think. You're doing fine? I'm doing okay. Glad it's a Friday, to be honest. Looking forward to my weekend, you know? That kind of stuff. I'm trying to see if I can make a useful little tool here today, a little drawing thing. I have something, but there's little things I have to work out on it, you know? This coming Wednesday is your last school day, or this past Wednesday was your last school day? The next? Nice. Good to have a break from school, I assume? I know when I was back in grade school and high school and stuff like that, it was always nice to have a break from it. Yeah. School, finally. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't always hate it though. You know, sometimes it was good, sometimes it wasn't. It was always a bit of a mixed bag. Hey, someone's hosting me. Dr. Zonk, thank you for that. Yeah, I have the same thing. Yeah. Any subjects in particular that you enjoy studying? Okay, let's see. If I go have a look at this, I could maybe, let's see here. Let's inspect. Let's go console, I think. Hey, Dr. Zonk, how's it going? See you hosted me there. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. Okay, so I have this little issue here where my coordinates are offset, and I don't particularly need that. But I can't just hard code offsets because as soon as I move the window over, the coordinates seem to change. Well, maybe not. Let me see here. Let's do x minus 20. And here we'll do minus 110 and see what kind of mess that makes. Let's have a look. Okay, see that is at least, that's only correct until I scroll, and then the position ends up being wrong. Yeah. So, what should I do in that kind of context here? Hope everyone's managing to have a good time wherever they're at. Playing games, doing projects, relaxing, whatever it is. Hope that's all going well. Okay. Oh yeah, this is wrong now. Oop. Got that there. Let's go. I really thought that would work. It's also undefined. Let me try, let's actually see if I can do this. Let's have a look at that. Error. Offset x is not a function. Right, so it's not a function. You have to do this to make it a property. Let's see here. Let's have a look. Let's see here. Let's have a look. Find. Oh, maybe offset X and offset Y are only defined in Chrome? That's a bit annoying. Do I even have Chrome installed? I do. Let me just... Not sure if I have private information open in the Chrome. We'll find out. It's a little silly that it works that way, but well, okay. So it goes. Chrome is not wanting to load. As far as I can tell. There we go. Okay, let's have a look. Jeez, this thing is chugging along, taking its own sweet time. Hey, Gmaster HD, thanks for the follow. Just noticed that popped in now. Thanks for that. As you can tell, I don't have a lot of fanfare on the screen when follows happen. I still have to set that up. Hope you're cool with that. Boy, oh boy. This is my Chrome right now. It's not... It's taking its sweet time. Perhaps it'll load one day. We'll just keep working away at this here anyway. Ooh, things are grinding to a bit of a halt, unfortunately. See, so this is what I'm talking about here. Undefined mouse click positions are showing up undefined. Do I watch anime? No, not really, to be honest. Do you? I don't watch it out of dislike. I watch it out of lack of time, to be totally honest. You like anime yourself? Anything cool? A friend of mine did once tell me about, oh, what was it? Attack of the Titans, I think. You love anime? That's totally cool. I think it is it Attack of the Titans or Attack on Titan or something like that? I don't remember. The one with the freaky giant humanoid things. Anyway, Attack on Titan. Yeah, so I only ever saw a few episodes. It looked pretty fascinating, but Attack on Titan. Anyway, so I've seen a few episodes of that. Not sure that counts if that's anime directly. I think it is. I think it qualifies. I also watched an episode of Full Metal Alchemist. The newer, there's like 2 different versions of it or something like that. And so I watched, I don't even remember. I'm not opposed to anime, but it can get confusing as to what's what, you know? You watch any type? Nice. Very nice. Well, there's plenty of it out there, right? So you're not likely to run into or run out of anime to watch anytime soon. Come on, man. Chrome is driving me nuts with how slow this is going right now. That's crazy. Okay, even this is showing up as undefined now. That's a mild surprise to me. There are some anime that you don't like. Yeah, I guess that's fair enough, right? If you've watched all the ones you want to watch and there's only bad anime left, then well, yeah, I guess you're out of luck. True enough. True enough. Okay, well, if I'm lazy for the time being, I'm gonna try this layer X, layer Y thing. Although it's from 2012, so it's 8 years old information at this point. There's a chance that it doesn't work. Your favorite is Chivalry of a Failed Knight? I've not heard of that one. I am unfamiliar. Did I save this? Let's try reload that for a moment. So many logged messages here. Undefined. Well, okay, looks like we might have to let's see here. Oh, what does this mean? There's a little symbol in front of this. Might mean it's experimental. I don't know. Chivalry of a Failed Knight is very unpopular. Going against the grain, huh? Oh wait, let's have a look here. What am I looking at here? If I look at offset, experimental, expect behavior to change in the future. It says it's all supposed to work. Well, that's the silly thing. That's a silly thing. Hit region. Instance of. What makes that so unpopular? Do you know? Just the story people don't like, or the animation style, or something else? See, it even says that offset X should work in all of these. That's what I'm confused about. But, well, so be it. Let's have a look here. What kind of examples are people providing here? If it's undefined. Hmm. Okay, so there's page X minus let's see here. Okay, so there's an event that gets passed into this function, but is there a way to pass in like a this? Function event. Well, let me see what I can do. Well, let's just do page X and page Y minus client X, client Y. I think that client Y event. Let's see if that does anything useful for me. Oops. Oh, page X and client X are exactly the same coordinates here, apparently. Okay, so that's not what I'm looking for. I'm supposed to be looking for all kinds of buzzers and beepers are going off on my wrist here. Gotta change things up for a second there. Okay. Let's see here. Clojure script reagent this. Bold and red text, that's just a static example, that's fine. Data is passed to child components using plain old Clojure data types. Yes, that's fine. List item, that's all good. State, click me. Okay, so this click count is just a counter, and the counting component has the div that says the atom, so that's that text there, and at click count is whatever value gets placed in there, and then here you've got an on click. I wonder if I could do it. Does on click, is that a thing in this case? That's not solving the problem I have, but on click works just as well as on mouse down. Interesting, I suppose. Right, so if I actually see, so something does change here. Okay. Interesting. Not helpful. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. On change. Target. Okay. I wonder, let me try this now. I have, let's go away from this. Get rid of that part. So this is at least a valid coordinate. Let me try. Okay, this syntax is a little different, so I'm gonna change it up. Right, so let's do ... event target offset x. I wonder if that'll work. We'll find out soon enough. Event target offset y. Let's figure out if that works. Undefined, undefined. Okay, so that's not it. Let's log that anyway. Okay, so the target is this SVG element. Okay, so it's oh man, this is a whole thing, eh? A React thing, I guess. Let's just do event and see what that looks like. Okay, Click target is this thing, current target. Client X, page Y, screen Y. Target, null, view, null. Okay. Persist. Yes, that's fine. Movement. Ow. Well, let's just keep poking around. We'll do event target target offset left. See if that's a thing. It is not. Target.offset is undefined. Okay, well, we'll keep trying to figure it out. I don't need it to do. I just need. Well, okay. Okay, so the target Hey Gmaster HD, what kind of web page am I developing? Well, so I'll be honest, it's not much of one. In other streams, I work on let's see, what's a succinct way to describe this here? File. I do stuff like this. I will show you. I have a code library that I am working on that turns documents with diagram code into like you can make web pages that have prose and diagrams. So this is a 2D example, but I've also made, if I go to let's see, design parallets, oh, wrong page. here, this is a design doc page I made for a simple piece of equipment that I was working on. So they're sort of build instructions. Anyway, today I'm messing around with a library called Reagent, and all I want to do, this is a placeholder name, ASDF app. I'm in the middle of figuring out how to make just a tiny little thing that you can click and draw shapes with. The idea is if I can draw shapes here, I can take the code and use that back in whatever I need to draw. So if I draw something like this, I can just draw it quickly in here and then have the code brought back into the library on the back end. I'm not sure if that makes any sense. It's a Friday, so I don't have a strong plan for Friday work. I just kind of experiment and prototype. So it's totally possible that this ends up being useless. I'm just kind of poking around. Not sure if that sufficiently answers your question. So what I'm working on figuring out is if I swap this back to how did I do it? Where am I? If I do dot client x event like this, and client y event there, let the app reload. Oh, it was working. Well, apparently I don't know what I'm doing. I thought I had yeah, this is broken. Click. Let's try it that way. There we go. Okay, so this is what this here, if I click, it adds a point into the polygon in the SVG block here, which is great. But as you can see, I've got an offset there. I'm clicking here and it's drawing here instead, right? So that offset's no good. I'm just trying to find an easy way to have it shift it back appropriately, because the idea, or an idea, is to be able to do this. What Linux distro am I using? Actually, this is Mac OS, if you believe it. See that? I know it's maybe a little crazy, but yeah, just using a Mac. I'm gonna guess, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm gonna guess that you thought this was a Linux distro, at least in part because I've got a tiling window manager as opposed to not. But correct me if I'm wrong. I'm hypothesizing. But what I was saying was I kind of want to, in the dark themed window bar. All this up here. Yeah, so the dark theme stuff, there's actually some reasonably good dark theme stuff built into some of the later Mac OS stuff. See, known with this design? Well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna close this. My design is, so this is my wallpaper. It's a solid color, and otherwise I just have very simple, just put an app in a window, and if I need to launch an app, you can always use the spotlight. Just keep it as minimal as possible without going too crazy. Now, there's a lot of stuff, well, a lot. There's like things I wish would look a little better and work smoother, and I just haven't got around to making it look the way I want. But it's like halfway between what a really cool Linux distro setup could look like and what the normal Mac setup looks like. Which is to say, it's kind of a mess sometimes. But hey, it does get the job done, so I'm more or less okay with it. Anyway, I wonder, so what I kind of want to do is get to a point where I can make totally separate, or where you can spawn, did I break it already? What happened? Pardon me. Here, yeah. So this is obviously, so what I have failed to do, right, is fix, what I want is to have it possible to spawn different drawings, kind of contexts, right? And right now it's sharing the state with that whole thing, and not being, it's not, it should be its own state. But anyway, I'm gonna worry about that part after I figure out how to get the offsets to work appropriately. So that's it's the next thing to do. But I actually have to pop to the washroom for a minute, so I will just do be right back. A little message here. I'm gonna mute the mic. I shouldn't be long, but feel free to keep posting questions, chat with each other, anything like that. I'll be like 2 minutes, so. All right. Let's get back to it. Hey, Gmaster HD, do you do any programming yourself? I'm just curious. I ask because, you know, I'm always interested to see and hear about the type of people that come to watch a programming stream. It's just interesting to see what's up. Yeah, but no websites? Do you do back-end stuff or other stuff entirely? No websites. Let's see. Okay. Do you complete other stuff, more like programs or apps? Oh, that's cool. Any particular language or set of tools and stuff that are your current favorites? Oof. You're trying C++ and OpenGL. The only thing you can do is drawing a colored rectangle. Hey, you always got to start somewhere. That's the classic. It's like the hello world of OpenGL program, right? Like this almost. But oh, you said rectangle even. So you're drawing two triangles. You're already you're already up one step, right? Oh yeah, I've done that before in WebGL, and I have run. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I've only ever done it in WebGL. Theoretically, it's the same stuff, but it ends up being, OpenGL and WebGL are not as similar as you can't just copy paste entirely. But no, that's cool stuff. I do my best to stay away from C++ just because I'm lazy and I don't want to learn everything about it. So that's the old OpenGL method, GLBegin, GLVertex. You're currently learning the new method with shaders, VAO and VBO. What's VAO and VBO? Is that's virtual buffer object or something like that? I don't remember. VAO. Yeah, I can't remember what they stand for. But that's cool. It sounds like fun things to learn. But yeah, like I was saying, C++, anytime I start to read some C++ code, my eyes glaze over. Not because C++ is bad, but because, I don't know, for some reason I feel anxious looking at it all the time, There's a lot there. That's probably me just making excuses not to learn stuff. That would be my bad. Alright, I don't totally understand. Let's have a look here. Okay. The event doesn't have that. Huh, let me see if this works. Let's have a look here. Event native event offset x Let me see if that fixes my issue. Yeah, all right. Yes. That's exactly what I wanted. Now I can build arbitrarily ridiculous polygons. Closed path polygons. A VAO is a vertex array object, holds VBOs. VBO is a vertex buffer object. Okay, that makes sense. Vertex array and vertex buffer, which holds information about vertices, and vertex data like color, position, and normals. There you go. That makes sense. Okay, so there's an old OpenGL method and a new one. Is it, are these methods related to different releases of OpenGL, or is it more related to just a new style of programming in OpenGL? Or both, maybe. I'm not sure. Okay, let me, let me write a note to myself here. I had trouble with turns out that React components don't have those properties, you have to first use native event where they do exist. Found this out here. Let's just put in the link to this particular answer here. Where's that share button? Share, copy link. Perfect. You can use the old methods for OpenGL in 4.6, but it's not recommended, and it's unflexible. Okay, so it's a little bit related to like, hey, world in general, these were old ways of doing it, but the new ways are fairly consistent and allow for good, flexible, safe approaches kind of thing. It's more of a mindset than an actual difference in the library itself, maybe. The new ways are a lot more complex. There's always some kind of trade-off, I guess. But anyway, it sounds, no matter what way you slice it, OpenGL and graphics programming and stuff like that is so fun, and just it's fascinating. So it sounds like a cool thing to be learning. That's really nice. Okay, so I nicely have this working with the correct positions, which is really nice. The next thing I wanted to do was figure out why this here isn't displaying, because I thought it should be. It's not creating a... Oh, probably I have to do something weird like this. If I do div, oh, this is relevant. I do that. I'm gonna guess that oh no, it's also wrong. Yeah, okay. Okay. Here, this is a mistake I have made. I need, this has to be out of here because it's not, okay, so that's the SVG part of that, right? And now here is where I am supposed to put the P tag. Probably this won't work though because it's not wrapped in a div, yeah. So I need, see now the SVG is not being displayed. So what I need to do is pop this in a list, I believe. That'll work. And that, if I save that, no, it has to, I'm trying to be lazy, but I have to do it like this. Div, div, that should work. It does not. I'm surprised by that. I'll have a look in just a second there. The old method to draw a red triangle and all that is that bunch of code in there. In the new method, you have to create a buffer out of positions, add it to the VAO, bind it, load a shader on it, and draw it. Feels like rather indirect, right? My guess is for tinier projects, it feels like so much extra work for not much gain, but probably as you would build something up and up and up over time, it becomes a worthwhile thing to have set up at the start. That would be my guess. I don't know, of course. I'm just theorizing. What have I done? Pretty sure that should work. There we go. There we go. Okay, so old way is also called immediate mode. If you call GeoVertex 3F, it will immediately be sent to the GPU. So the new method, the entire vertex array object gets sent in one call. Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense. So it probably, this new method is also, now that GPUs are relatively powerful, this new method can take more and more advantage of putting massive amounts of data in through a single call, and you get this awesome optimization. Instead of doing direct calls into the GPU kind of sequentially, you can just throw a massive bit of data in and it does it massively in parallel. Again, just spitballing my brain's idea here. Not sure. I'm not an expert, so I'm just guessing. Okay, so the next thing I want to do, actually, this coordinates thing is nice, but I want to print the coordinates out in a slightly different approach here. That's the thing. There's also a rendering method called batching, which combines a lot of different objects into one VAO and also into one draw call. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Well, that's the nice thing about a GPU, right? Is it does like single operations on huge amounts of data, like all parallel. CPUs don't work quite that way. So, I mean, it would be really silly not to try and take advantage of that kind of approach as much as you can, right? Otherwise, why not just use a CPU? In any case, it's just so amazing that all this tech works so well, eh? And you can, I mean, even if you're at the stage where you're drawing triangles and rectangles, I think that's something that's really cool, that it actually can happen and that you can figure out how to do it. So it's just great stuff. Keep up the learning, I guess, is the thought that goes through my mind. Wow, it's such a cool looking polygon there. What am I even doing here? Okay, let's clean up this. Let's get rid of this a little bit here. Some of this is gone too. We don't need that. The next thing is, if you send something from the CPU to the GPU, if the data is just a vertex, it gets sent in the same time as it is a massive object or world. Yeah, totally. Yeah, so you don't want to be clogging up the whole works with just tiny little bits of calculation, right? So are you learning C++ and OpenGL, like, for any, do you have specific goals and projects in mind, or just sheer curiosity? Right, so let me make a little thing that formats the coordinates here. So the coordinates, as they're being saved in here, is just a vector of maps, but I want it to be displayed as a vector of vectors, just for compatibility with how I've been writing some other functions. So I'm gonna make a little reformatter thing there. So defen to points coordinates. That's a bad function name, but this is a prototype anyway, so you're only learning it for fun because you're interested in it. Nice. Learning for the sake of learning. I could totally get behind that. That's great stuff. Good work. Hope you can keep it up. Because I know out of personal experience, it's really fun to be learning, and sometimes you can just hit this wall and it just stops being fun for a bit. I hope that it stays relatively enjoyable for you. Let's see here, chords. We're just gonna map V. Oh, wait a second. I already have this function right here. It's this whole thing. So let me just magic that out of there for a minute. Right, so I can just copy that, right? So it's a vec over let me see here. Let me do this. Just gonna start a REPL here so I can mess around with that. You hope so too. It's not your first try. Have a lot of older projects. Oh, an older project, sorry, where you tried it, but the motivation's dropped. Currently it's rising again. Yeah, motivation can be so fickle, hey? I'll tell you what, one reason I do my this streaming that you're watching now is as a sort of force for me to at least keep trying to program. I'm self-taught, and I have enough skill to write very useful things in the context of CAD related stuff, but I know there's a lot of improvement that I can make, a lot of skills that I can develop further when it comes to communicating, when it comes to writing well-designed code, clear code, good reusable code, all that kind of stuff. I have a lot to learn, and the only way, well, a way that I've forced myself to keep coming at it regularly is by doing this stream. So sometimes when motivation dips to nothing, the routine of, well, I got to do this, I at least have to do that. At least for me, I'm not saying it could work for everyone, right? But at least for me, that's one thing that I've recognized as helpful. Let me get rid of this here and do chords. Let's at least pop this back up here like that, map V like that. Okay, so if I do that, 2 points, I could replace, where'd it go? This here. There we go, polygon with 2 points of at mouse coordinates, like that. And here, again, I can just create string of 2 points at mouse coordinates. There we go. Your biggest problem was the shader thing. Currently, you're also not understanding GLSL enough to do your own things. GLSL is the OpenGL shading language. Yeah. I have passing familiarity with a little bit of that stuff. Not much to be hyper useful. Not sure if you've run into this at all, or if it's any fun for you, but Shader Toy, have you ever heard of this website? It is admittedly it's WebGL, not OpenGL, but it's a spot where you can look at GLSL code that people have created for all these ridiculous things. No, you've never heard about it? Well, if you're curious, shadertoy.com, very simple. Very simple name, I mean. You can click anyone's example. It runs here, right, in your browser, and here you have shader inputs. This is GLSL code here, and yeah, you can see what other people have done for different things. It's quite fascinating, and then there's comments and everything too. It's really quite a fun site to poke around in. I might recommend you do it on a slightly more powerful computer than a laptop, just because they all try to load in and things can get a little slow. But hey, if you're interested, it's pretty cool. This one here I find particularly cool. You can make basically computer-aided design objects directly with a stuff called sign distance function. SD plane is sign distance plane, SD sphere, sign distance sphere, all kinds of neat stuff. Anyway, keep it in mind if you're ever looking for some inspiration, you know? Okay, what was I in the middle of doing? Oh yeah, I wanted to see if I can make this thing a little less weird. So let me make a little some parts of my but I think before it's really helpful, I need to understand how to move a triangle on screen with a shader. Yeah, fair enough. I bet you could get there if you spend a bit of time this weekend reading up, trying out changes to the code and everything like that. I bet if you give it a good hard try for the weekend, you could have something working. Of course, no pressure from me, right? You do what you got to do at your own pace. Sorry, I'm getting messages. I want to make sure. Man, there's always stuff going on, always distractions. It's not always helpful. Ooh, yeah, the only thing I can understand is a thing called transformation matrix and projection matrix. You're trying. Hey, transformation matrices and projection matrices, they can be confusing. So I do not blame you for taking your time with those. They are confusing sometimes. Yeah, so a transformation matrix, they're a 4x4 matrix, right? And it's very unclear how changing the numbers changes the orientation of the object. I could totally see how that can be a mildly frustrating thing. Here we are, 3D computer graphics. This is your problem, yeah. I wish I had something right off the top of my head that would be good for you to read and study, but I don't totally. So I'm sorry, I'm not currently able to give you a hand with that one. But I'm being sarcastic. But wait, what about this doesn't make sense to you? Obviously, it's one of those things that is very confusing until you have used it enough over a long period of time that it becomes sort of second nature. That doesn't mean it's ever easy. It just means you become more comfortable with it in your brain, right? So I have sympathy for you learning this stuff. It's not always easy. Your goal is to have a command, create a map made of cubes. What do you mean by a map made of cubes? Just out of curiosity, like voxels, like a Minecraft world kind of thing. if you're only ever doing, yeah, like voxels in Minecraft. So for what it's worth, if you are only doing transformations that are translating, so you're not doing any rotation, but at the beginning without randomization. Oh yeah, I gotcha. So if you're only ever looking for translation stuff, let's see if I could contrive an example for a minute. If we define A to be a point, right? Like the point in 3D space, let's say it's 2, 3, 4, right? If you want to transform it by translating, it's only ever going to be, all you have to do is define some new function or some new point, let's say, which is, if you want to move it, let's say 5 on the X, how am I trying to say this? Right, all it is going to be, you want to map the addition of, so from your original point, you want to translate it, let's say 5 along X, 5 along Y, and then 2 along Z, right? You're literally just adding those differences into the point. And then B, so A is 2, 3, 4, and then B will be the translated point, right, which will be 7, 8, and 6. So it's literally just adding them together, basically. Now, that's probably not that helpful to you, so I realize, feel free to disregard everything I've just said. That's my bad. I'm trying to be more helpful than I really can be at this time, so I don't want to end up confusing you or just being totally unhelpful anyway, you know? Should you do everything with shaders or with vertices on the CPU? Yeah, with that, as to where you should be doing it in shaders or in CPU, I can't help you with that, unfortunately. I don't know enough about it yet. It is helpful. Without the basics, you can't understand anything else. Yeah, that's true enough. That is true enough. Okay, what I'm trying to do is see if there's a better way that I could write this out. So I'm going to do define 2 points here, given coordinates. What I want to see is if this is valid syntax here, because I'm not sure if it is. Let's do get %y. I think this won't work. Map that over the coordinates. So now let's try 2 points of some contrived example where I've got x, 0, y, 0, x2, y2, x5, y, some other thing. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so that means that won't work that way. If instead I write this as if I try apply vec like that, does that work? Nope. Okay. I'm just gonna not worry about that. I have a function that works, may as well use it. Okay. Okay, so what's the next thing to do here? Oh, I know. I do want to add little dots that indicate where you've clicked. So to do that, I am going to create, under the SVG spot here, I'm going to make a new function, define dot, and it's going to take a position. This position is going to be, actually let me do it like this, destructured xy. And from that, since it'll be inside an SVG element, I can just make it directly like this, circle, with the class value. Oh. What's the class of it? Attention. So this happens to be a class in the CSS that I've named already, so I'm not pulling it out of nowhere. I happen to know it exists. I think it exists anyway. We've got attention, which has a fill of that value, which should be totally fine. There. Vim is better than Emacs. I hate this topic too. What do you mean? Why are you bringing that up? Sorry, I lost the thread there. I'm a little confused. Or are you saying you prefer Vim? Reading messages, sorry about that. Where are you seeing, are people talking about Vim is better than Emacs? I'm totally lost, man. Or person, I don't want to make presumptions here. Oh, you're watching another streamer and they're going Emacs is better than Vim? Emacs, it was better than Vim? Huh. That's editors are a black hole of a conversation. It's not ever worth really talking about, right? Because people have an opinion and it's right either way, right? I truly don't care. If you can write, you could write in Notepad for all I care, you know? If you can write code, and if you're happy with how you're writing it, you do you, you know? Yeah, I'm not a fan of that kind of conversation anyway. Oop, I did break something though. What have I done? Let's have a look here. I didn't finish writing this function. I just gave up on it for some reason. Oops. CX, X, CY, Y. That's that. And the radius, I want to be, let's say 4 pixels. Actually, let's pass the radius in as an option like that. Oop. Is this gonna work? I'll find out. Okay, so this drawable function, yeah, for any of those topics, good for them. If it's better, they should use it. Now, so I find those conversations to be way more often than not just not worth having because people get frustrated with each other. There's a reasonable thing to say. Like, imagine if I were using literally like Microsoft Word to write my code in, and I was using Times New Roman as the font, you know, it's fine, right? Like, if I want to do that, I can actually write code there. But someone could very well point out and say, hey, person, seriously, just use VS Code instead of Word to write code. You know what I mean? You've used Notepad by Microsoft. Yeah, to write batch files. Right, so my point is not that you can't do it or that it's even bad, right? It's that you could say to someone writing in Notepad Microsoft Notepad, right? You could say, hey, look, if you use this program, let's say VS Code, you'll be able to see with different colors the different things that you're doing, and it'll indent for you. And then someone could say, oh yeah, I see how that is better, right? So it's not as if every single program is equally valuable, but it's also not true that it matters enough to really start fighting about it. Does that make sense? I think it does. But yeah, like if you just grab what you've got and start, right? That's more important than worrying about which tool is better at the end of the day. And when an individual person is good and ready, they'll probably discover that they might like this tool or they might like that tool. But yeah, if you're writing a short little batch file, I have no problem with opening it in Word and making your changes, right? It all depends on what the person wants, you know? I'm getting way too philosophical though. Okay, so I have here this polygon thing. What I want to do anytime a coordinate is added is not only draw the polygon, I also want to will this work? I wonder. I think this might not work, but I'm going to try it this way anyway. I want to make a dot at 2. Actually, no, let's do it this way. We'll just map dot over 2 points at mouse coordinates. I wonder if this will work or if that's massive duplication of things. I'll find out though. Let's see here. Right, Notepad++ compared to Atom is comparing my favorite color is purple and you're a bad person if your favorite color is green. Yeah, well, that's totally right. There's easily a point where the feature differences between any editor is not worth fighting at all, right? It doesn't make you better if you use this or that. Yeah, I totally get it. But you know what? Human nature, I think, is such that we often enjoy getting into those little scuffles from time to time, you know? So sometimes that's just the way it goes. That's just the way it goes sometimes. No one would compare a car to a dog. Yeah, totally. Hey, there we go. Look at that. Man, things are really coming together. Even though it's a really simple little thing. That's fun. I'm happy with that. Right, so what I'm talking about a little bit here, right? If I go into my other code base here, load this file, right? In the REPL here. I can do now in this context I could copy and paste this, right? And now I've got that working in a different context. So that was the idea. I've got a tiny little tool that nevertheless is helpful to me here. What's another good little thing to add here? Oh, yes. So now I want to figure out if there's a smart way to all right, let me finish my thought here. So what I had before was this. If I copy this part of the mount here, Yeah, with conversations that can get heated and frustrating, I do my best to just let it kind of, just go with the flow, you know? I've got to answer this. Your opinion's Adam's better? Yeah, actually, I have very little opinion. I don't know what's better. All I know is that I use Emacs, you know? Give me 1 second here. I have to reply to some friends of mine. There. Right, so what I was saying, I have this problem where I want this window and this window not to share their data, right? So what I think I can do is pass in a state piece by itself, I think. And then I can make multiples here. So let me also do this. This should go here. What have I done? Why did that happen? I don't understand. Oh, no, I do understand. Okay. Right. Okay, so here, before I do this, I'm gonna get some more water and a coffee, and I won't be long. All right. Okay, let's see here. What I'm attempting to do is see if this state thing, if I can pass it through the way I want to. Whoa, hey. Why did that do that? What? What did I do? I have no idea why that happened, but hey, I'll let it go. That was very weird. Right, so what I'm seeing is if I can pass in a state thing into the component so that I can attach different state atoms to different components so that they're not, like literally what's happening here, right, is they're sharing the same set of coordinates when I want them to have independent coordinates. See, right now they're just directly linked to each other, which is cool, but not what I need. Okay, so I think this will work. All I really need to do is change any call in here to mouse coordinates. I need to do state instead. It's maybe risky to call it state, but we'll go with that for now. Give it a try. Give it a try. Because this is just, oh yes, okay, so it won't work because I'm not passing in any meaningful state, of course, right? So if I pass in mouse coordinates here, if I pass it in as well right here, it didn't work. Maybe I have to refresh the app. Let's find out. Okay. Okay, so the app is working with the way I passed in state. So now let me mouse chords A and chords B will be the same empty atom here, but now to see if they actually do separate, which I think they will, I just use them chords A, chords B there, and let's have a look. Sweet. Okay. So I can spawn those independently. So now what I want to do is figure out a way where I can localize the state entirely in the component so that I don't have to define the state of it. Let's see if that's like a thing. Let's see here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, so this person is asking about kind of similar things to what I'm, well, maybe. Well, actually, okay, let me try the easiest thing that comes to mind here. Let's also close that window and do one of these. There's the REPL there. Perfect. Oop, boy, oh boy. I wonder, so I use a mouse quite a bit. I do wonder if I should start to install plugins and stuff like that so that I use only the keyboard for navigation, because this mouse is cool but annoying to use a lot. Either I learn to use the keyboard way more, or get a new mouse, or both. But back to what I was saying here, the easy thing is get rid of the call to state here and put everything in here into a let state be some atom here, like this, r/atom, so that it's built in internally, in which case I can theoretically get rid of those. So that's the let, and then those get indented one level and popped in like that, and then drawable becomes this again, and the state is in its own let binding there. So is this a good idea? I have no clue, but it might work. So let me refresh this. It does not work anymore. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Let's have a look here. Are there errors? Errors. Oh well, what did I do? Let me see. Let me just make sure that I didn't break the app. Okay, that's still going. That's good. I actually thought that it would work. Maybe it's related to how reagent actually ends up keeping track of reactive atoms, that I can't define it in a local thing like that. But let me keep reading here. It should work. There's a local state here. Maybe not. This is probably something I haven't properly learned or read up on yet, so maybe I'm just making bad assumptions here. Okay. Local state is a concept. I just need to figure out exactly how it works. That's the only little issue I've got going on here. Let's look at the word local state. Oh, it's right here. Man, sometimes my laziness is awe-inspiring. Okay, how to represent component local state and how to access the rendered DOM nodes. We will need these capabilities in order to create some more interesting components. Okay. What if we want a self-contained component with its own state? We want to be able to define and retain a local reagent atom instead of relying on one from the environment in order to build reusable components. That makes total sense to me. What if we want a component to call JavaScript functions after they're rendered? Okay, well, I don't care about number 2 right now. I'm focusing on this one. Okay. So form 2 components are probably what I need to be writing here. So it's a function that returns its own function, which is fine. I've got no problem with that. That makes sense. And the inner function returns hiccup representing HTML. Ah, okay. So I was on the right track. So what we do instead here is we create drawable here and we do function . Okay. No, I have to do it here. Okay, so the let is fine. Hey Mini Atlas, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. What's up on my end? Working on a little well, it was working just a minute ago. I'm learning how to work with reagent in Clojure script a little bit to make little utility tools for some code that I'm working on. I can explain a little bit better in just a minute, but yeah, that's what's up on my end. How are things with you? Okay, what I was doing, right, I'm doing these form 2 functions here. So I wonder if that's all I need to change. Let's find out. Right, so what I've got here is exactly what this describes. I've got the drawable function, which returns, it's got a let binding here, which creates a local state atom, and then that whole thing returns a component function, which is this here, which should nicely wrap that local state into a nice little bundle with itself without me needing to create these atoms outside of that. I think this will work. We'll find out. We'll find out by trying it out. How's that? So Mini Atlas, do you do any programming yourself? Hey, there we go. Okay. Sweet. Okay, that's what I was looking for. Awesome. Let me make a little note here for myself. I struggled for a minute with making making components that that create their own local state. Using the following link, I was able to learn about Form 2 components, which return a function. You can use that to wrap them in a let that creates the local state. Right, so the link is here. Copy that, paste it here. Perfect. Know you because of Dr. Zonk. Oh, Mini-Atlas, I'm sorry if we had chatted before and I had forgotten that. That would be my bad. Sorry about that. Well, I appreciate you stopping by anyway. I hope you're having a good time. I hope things are going well for you. Okay, perfect. I do my best to remember people who come into the chat, but just slipped my mind. I really am sorry about that. I hope you're still okay with with spending your time here, you know? Okay. Oh, with let, that seems cool. Oh, not chatted much, you've only said hi? Okay. I feel a little less guilty now. You playing some games right now again? I think you guys were doing that before, right? Just had my stream on in the background kind of thing. Whoa. Okay, this is pretty cool. I could use this idea here, right, to... Oh, I like that. Okay, well, what's another good idea? What's another thing that would be useful to add? Oh, your internet's lagging too much? Sorry to hear that, man. Thanks for stopping in. You do what you gotta do. I appreciate it. Let's see. Now, maybe I should make a draggable. Now, let's do that. Or attempt to do something like that. Drawable, draggable. Let me see. Okay. Let's start with something pretty similar here, right? Function width height. Let state here be our atom, but instead of it being all it needs is I could make it like this, x, y, with starting position 0, 0. Could work. So in the function is, let's copy this old jumble and get going from there. Okay, so that's a draggable. This coordinates existing thing we don't need, actually. That we need. The SVG has to stay as well, or can for simplicity. On click is not what I need. I need on mouse down. No, on mouse move. Let's see. Let's get rid of the log message there. Let's also define chords exist outside here. Coordinates exist. Wait, we can't. We have to do it with, yeah, chords and, what's the smart thing here? We'll do it like this, x, y. And then this whole thing comes here, but it doesn't need to be at state here. It's just not empty. Filter this whole business. Chords exist. And then here, I can go like this. Just let x, y be those things. When not chords exist is now a function, right? When not chords exist, at state, and x, y, like this. Oh, have I goofed it now? Oh, I did. This has to be like that. There we go. Okay. This looks correct. Let's see if it actually works still. Something went wrong. Oh, of course. Chords is coordinates. This is chords like that. Now that should work. Perfect. Okay, good. So now that's drawable. On mouse move for draggable. Let's have a look here. You can get rid of the log because I don't need it. So we let XY be that. And we swap immediately the state. We don't need to conj anything. We just swap the state with the new map directly. Well, wait a minute. Let me just make the state. It doesn't need to be a map even. It could just be this 0, 0. Okay. And we swap state with XY, XY there. And all we do is get rid of the polygon. So that's the function, and then we just do a dot at state size 5. Does that make any sense? Let's see. And then the coordinates for this whole thing is just going to be string at state Okay, let's see if that works. Something went wrong. Yes, 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 I need to fix it. I know. See if that, okay, no errors. Let's try draggable. So that's wrong. Something went wrong there. That's fine. I can fix it. So draggable, oh, maybe I do have to do this. No, something's wrong. Okay. On mouse, well, let's see. Let's just make sure that it's not just the way I've written that part that's wrong. Okay, something went wrong. String hey, that actually worked. Okay, something's wrong there. Let's have a look. Console, uncut error, no item in vector of length 2. What have I done? Okay, I only have like about, let's say, 10 minutes to solve this little problem here. Oh, this maybe is a reset. Is the right thing to do there. Yeah. Okay. So that's, I need it to be continuous. Let's see here. On mass drag or something like that, is that a thing? On drag? Oh, drag is 2 G's, of course. I should probably have that spelled properly. This is not going to work. Right, so what I have to do is make a draggable thing attach to the dot itself so that the dot detects when it's being dragged and then it moves around in its parent. So what I've got going on here isn't going to work. But I actually have to get going now. I'm actually extremely happy with the progress I've made on this. Does this not have a unique key prop? Oh, I must have got rid of something. Key. Let's just double check that that particular warning goes away. Okay, that's something to fix. Drawable local state not using a unique key. Should figure that one out. Okay, that's great. I'm really happy with this stream that I got this sort of prototype working. That's really fun. It's exciting. And it hints at what I really want to do is make sort of a grab bag of tools that you can spawn windows in the page you're making, and I think this is gonna be pretty awesome. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. I have to get going. Hope everyone has a good weekend. I will be back at this on Monday. If I'm feeling up for it, I might do some fun streams, maybe Saturday or Sunday, something like that. But hey, I had a great time. Thanks for engaging in chat. A few people that chatted. If you're watching this after the fact, thanks for that too. Please feel free to leave comments, likes, follows, that sort of thing. I want to keep doing this and keep getting better, so gotta keep getting those eyeballs in, and I really appreciate that. But that's enough for me. I'm gonna get going. Everyone have a good one, okay? Goodbye.